And welcome once again to another edition of the Other People Show. Friday, September 22nd, 11:04 p.m. on 92.5 WLSD. It's going to be a great show. We're going to jump right in. Who is my guest tonight? You all know him well. He has a brand new film that's going to be screening next week at the Park Avenue Theater, right beside the station here in Norton. And that's Friday 29th at 8 p.m. and is when the doors are going to open. Tyler Payne, thank you for joining me.
Thanks for bringing me back on again, friend.
So, tell us a little bit about what's been brewing since the last time you were on the show. There seems to be a lot happening.
So many things happening. So, you showed me this lovely theater right next door, and now we're going to be showing the film there.
Yes.
So, that's exciting.
Yeah, I'm very excited. And how when you saw over there, what was it? What you had kind of envisioned? Because I know you originally wanted a drive-in. That was your envisionment to begin with. But as far as like going inside of the indoor theater,
I wasn't expecting it to look so good.
neither was I. The first time I went in there, I was blown away.
It has like a little bit of the Art Deco feel to it,
Yeah.
which I think it's too nice for Carol.
Oh. So you've got the film. Tell us a little bit. Tell us what you want the audience to know.
So, one thing to keep in mind, this is not a film for children.
Right.
So if you want to bring your kids, that's totally up to you. But you're pretty much going to bring them to a softcore snuff film.
Right.
So
That's on them. You're putting the warning out there now.
I am putting the warning out there now.
And I've seen a little bit. You previewed what, like 13 minutes or so?
Yeah, about a 12-minute demo.
Okay, at the Franken Film. Oh, did you ever get your award in?
I did not get my award in yet. I've been in direct contact with them, and the host of the event, he said that he's going to take matters into his own hands and go ahead and do what needs to be done to fix that.
Wait, because you should have this already. I'm waiting for the picture of. I don't want you to give it away, but you probably have it in mind. The picture you're going to take when you receive it, because I've seen what they look like, and it's really really cool.
Oh,
It's amazing.
So I'm wanting to show it at the event itself. That's when I want to show it off, and then give a little bit of a talk behind what you're about to see.
Right, right.
So that way people can kind of be aware of the level of violence that's going to be in this.
Now, is there anything that you can think of that you could compare your film to?
So I don't like to, compare myself to things.
Right.
I let other people compare me. So my favorite compliment so far was from PVD Horror, which
Okay.
was this gave me Terrifier vibes.
Okay, yes,
Yeah.
I can see that. I can see that. And you said you had a lot of inspiration from the gaming world,
Yes.
correct? Like any, because I'm not as familiar with games. Maybe the mainstream ones I've heard of, but what kind of inspiration do you draw from some? And what are some of the games that you draw inspiration from?
So if you like Resident Evil 3,
Okay.
you know how like Nemesis is always kind of right on you.
Mm-hmm.
So a little bit of inspiration comes from things like that, which Terminator 2 as well is something that has that in it.
Right.
So that's a heavy part to this.
Okay. Okay. And as far as describe your, I try to maybe get some music that you enjoy when you come in. So how would you describe your musical tastes?
All over the place.
Okay.
I love the 80s. And
Yeah.
I think that shows in my work. But
Right. Yes, I think so. A lot of it is. It's like I love the color palettes that you use. Amazing in the film.
appreciate it.
Yeah, it looked it really popped on screen too. So I'm very excited to see it on the big screen next Friday as well.
Oh, you get to watch the whole thing all the way through.
Yes.
This is the first time publicly
Yes.
anyone's ever going to be able to see it all the way through.
So how are you feeling now that it's a week away? Is everything in place? You feeling good? Do you have any kind of nerves about it?
Of course I got nerves about it. I'm showing true raw emotion. In this,
Yes,
and
you're
it's
opening yourself up. Would this be the most vulnerable time for you?
absolutely
Okay.
because it plays on a lot of different. So in a way, I like to play off old past traumas. It
Okay.
gives me a form of control. You take it and you manipulate it into a way where you find it either funny or appeasing to look at.
Right.
So I kind of took things that you might not be able to directly draw a correlation to. Some things you can, but yeah, you pull back from all of those moments
Okay.
and make it beautiful.
So you're putting your trauma, your past, everything into this on screen.
A lot of it, and
Okay.
also like to play off of my worst character traits.
Okay.
So Carol is definitely wrath.
Okay.
That's our main star of the show.
Now, what can you give away the running time?
An hour and 20 minutes roughly.
Okay.
I think it's like an hour 18 and 20 seconds if you want it exact.
Okay. Okay. And I did see. I don't want to give away anything, but the credit sequence, I will say, was really cool as well.
Oh, thank you.
It was really. So I'm very excited for you. I'm very excited on this journey. What has been one of the most difficult parts after so the movie is 100% complete now.
Yes.
So that being said, that being finished, what has been the most difficult aspect other than filming itself?
The most difficult aspect has been the marketing.
Okay.
Marketing has been brutal. Don't like marketing, and it's funny because like the other day I did a workshop talking about viral marketing and things like that. So
I saw a photo. I think did Carol go?
no, it was me.
Oh, it was you.
It was me.
Okay.
Izzy took the show.
Okay.
So we went up, did our song and dance, talked about everything, and I made a comment how I liked that it said viral marketing, because let's be honest, viral marketing is a crapshoot. You don't know what you're getting.
No.
You just throw it and go.
See what happens.
Yeah, the algorithm like you, maybe not, I don't know. But that was filmed, and I'm going to get my hands on the footage as well.
Okay.
And the Highlands Horror Fest on their website, they're going to upload it. And then I'm also going to upload it to my podcast on the Subliminal Show, which is on YouTube.
Okay, now what is your podcast now?
So I didn't want to do a podcast, but I kind of had to do a podcast.
Okay.
So it's the Psycho Silico Subliminal Show.
Okay. And how did you have this going on last time?
No.
Okay. I was like, this sounds familiar. So walk us through the reluctant podcaster.
So I didn't want to do a podcast, but I felt like it was important to discuss certain things, like behind the scenes, certain things from, mentality, things like that. Just bring people along on the ride while still in character.
Right.
So that way they can get a feel for, the art with a little bit of behind the scenes.
Right. Okay.
And yeah, so the next episode is going to be the Road Show / Subliminal Show crossover.
Okay.
And then
is this a weekly? How often do you have a schedule that you put these out in?
Every 2 weeks.
Okay.
Every second Sunday of the month.
Okay. Every second Sunday.
Well, every other Sunday.
Right.
Two times a month.
Right.
Yeah. I had to think about it for a second.
That's understandable. So how long are your episodes?
30 minutes.
Okay.
And it takes me 12 hours to render that down after I color it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where is it available at?
YouTube.
YouTube. Okay.
After I get 10 episodes up, I'll probably put it on Spotify.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. So you were talking a little bit before we started the show on Friday the 29th. The doors are going to open about 8 o'clock. You want to walk us through a little bit what you have planned for that night?
Absolutely. So I'm going to be here probably around 3 p.m., 4 p.m. and just do tickets.
Right.
So I worked with the loading dock across the street at Dough Makers, and they're going to do a special drink, which is like a cotton candy pink and blue drink.
Okay.
It's going to be pink and blue.
Exactly.
My request. And that's going to be on a special. I believe they're going to run it for $5.
Okay, very nice. Very nice.
Then I believe the clock truck is going to get set up around 6.
Okay.
So if you want to come go ahead and get your food, get your ticket, and stuff like that, and go ahead and get everything situated, and then go to the loading dock, and drink a little bit,
Yeah.
do what you need to do there. Then come back over around 8. I'm going to run a pre-show. If you want to sit through that, the pre-show is just going to be some music that I prefer, and then it's going to be
Maybe like set the mood, tone a little bit of the.
yeah.
Okay.
And then play a few of my past videos, some of the other ASMR clips, some of the story clips, but I'm going to put them all in order.
Right.
So people can get a feel for other characters if they want to sit through it. I don't plan for it to loop. I haven't rendered it down yet.
Right.
I don't plan for it to loop. But if it does loop, it's only going to loop twice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is cool. And that's going to be, what time would that be? 9? No, 8, around 8?
Around 8 is when I'll show that.
Okay.
Because I'll let that run for like an hour, and that's when I'll open the doors.
And we counted how many seats, what was the capacity?
Ooh, fun you mentioned this. So it was like, I think 142.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Like give a few, take a few, I don't remember. But 80 VIP tickets, which will be the balcony and the first few rows. And that sold out within 2 weeks.
I thought that I'd read that it was sold out. So congrats on that.
Thank you.
And did you expect it to sell out quickly? Did it take you by surprise, or did you I knew it would?
I had no expectations.
Okay.
I dropped that because if I had expectations, I'd be disappointed
Mm-hmm.
if it didn't
Same.
go away. So I was just like, I'm not going to think about it. We're just going to put it out there, make yourself vulnerable, see
what happens.
And it, to my surprise, was very nice, which now leads me to something I want to bring up for you.
Okay.
So, we discussed running a film festival together.
Yes, we did. Yes.
I told you I wanted to see how this event rolls out before I even considered it. Well, I believe we can announce that we're going to work on that film festival.
I'm very happy to hear that, man, and I appreciate that, and it's going to be a blast. It's going to be and bring a lot of hopefully great filmmakers out of the woodwork.
Hopefully, I want people to try it. I want total amateurs from the area to pick it up. I want to run some ideas by you, but one of the ideas I want to do is I want to make sure we start off with films strictly from the Appalachian region.
Right.
So, as far north as the Appalachian Mountains go, as far south as the Appalachian Mountains go, but I want it to be Appalachian.
Right. I can understand that. Yes, I like the idea. So thank you for bringing me on board with that.
Thank you for showing me the theater
and
helping me out with this.
Well, when I'd seen that you had a little bit of problems or resistance from drive-ins and such, I was thinking, because I had filmed over there before, but I never had really been in there until the radio station, and it blew me away as well. I was like, I did not expect this at all, and so I thought when you came here last time, I think you'll like this.
Oh, definitely.
So it's got that old school feel. I like that brick. The aesthetic in there is really really good. The acoustics seemed to be good when we tested that one day. So I'm excited. So you've got it at 9 p.m. You're going to do a little Q&A, or are you going to do that after the film?
After the film.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like people will have a lot of questions afterwards.
Are you going to hand out any comment cards?
No, I'm just gonna let
people raise their hand and.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. When I did the road show the other day, not enough questions were asked. I want people to ask questions. I want them to ask the tough questions. I want them to get in the nitty gritty, have fun with it.
Right. So not really many people asked questions last week, or it was this past. It was what, Wednesday?
Yeah, Wednesday.
So not many questions.
Not many questions, no, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Like I'm really hoping to get more interaction for the Q&A. But if not, then we can go ahead and begin the picture taking process. So after the movie plays through, while the credits are playing, if you want to leave, go for it. We'll have T-shirts and posters, which I'm going to make a new poster tomorrow.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
Now I can't remember where, but I was somewhere last week, maybe the week before, and I saw a poster advertising the film. And I actually took a picture. It's on my phone actually. I took a picture of it. So I'll look and see where it was, but I think it may have been. It was a restaurant, so it might have been Good Times or something like that. One of those type of restaurants.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. So it is going out. And what about your TikTok? You want to give that out for some see if some people want to follow you on there?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So if you want to check out a lot of my work, you can check it out on TikTok or Instagram at Psychosilico, which is SYCOPSILICO.
Okay, and you've got a loyal and large following. And how did that come about? Like, was it just random?
Totally random.
Like you just woke up one day and like your videos are just viral.
So what had happened was I've always kind of had like a decent steady climb,
Right.
and then it would slow down. It's just the motion of the ocean at
Yeah,
that point. It would
exactly.
Go and then slow, go, slow. Then on September 29th last year, I posted a video of one of my crops that I keep in the freezer, keep her fresh.
Okay.
And when I pulled her out and I threw her on the table, I just filmed it because I like the sound, like all the ice crunching on her. So when I threw her on the table, I had that video sitting on my phone since we finished filming, and I loaded everything up because I was reorganizing the freezer. And when I shot that video, it was on my phone for like 4 months. And then September 29th of last year, which is ironic considering September 29th of this year, we're showing the film.
Well, did you plan that? Or did it just happen to be that way?
It just happened to be that way.
That's so.
Yeah. Then.
Nice.
It gets even better because it's also the night of the full moon.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Right.
that makes things a little interesting and fun too. I found that out like the other day.
Yeah, that would be really cool then.
But I posted that video and I just threw my phone down. I didn't look at it anymore. I mowed grass and did daily stuff.
Right.
And then about 3 hours had passed and I looked and that video had like 2 million views.
Really?
No way. Not in like a few hours. And then I just kind of sat there and watched it and just kept refreshing.
Yeah.
Watching it go up like 100,000 views like every few seconds. And I was like, there's no way this is real. I was like, why this piece though? Why did it have to be something I shot with my cell phone? Why not something I shot with the S1H and the H4?
Yeah.
Why?
Were you ever able to come to a conclusion why that one took off first?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, I know why it took off. It's absurd. It's bizarre. Which, when people come watch the film, they'll understand.
Wait, even when they go to your TikTok or Instagram, they'll get a glimpse.
They will get a glimpse because tomorrow I'm planning to post a TikTok-specific trailer, and I'm going to show the scene that has that lovely lady used in it.
Okay.
And there's going to be a moment where I use one of my favorite tools, which we'll just call the duck bills here.
Okay.
And with, of course, our lovely lady that got 98.7 million views.
Wow.
That's where it sits right now.
Is that the highest viewing one you have?
Yeah.
Very nice, my friend. Very nice.
Appreciate, but I had no control over it. It just did what it did.
Well, I do. Mine are not nearly like that, but the random ones that I get is I've posted just a simple picture of a teen killer that I'm talking about, and those get the most views out of any of them. And I'm like, why those?
All right.
Just why those? Because I've tested it out. I've posted other things and then those again, and those always get almost 1,000 each. And I'm like, why those?
Right.
But I started TikTok late, so I need to get back on it again. But yeah, so tell us, what can you tell us about you want to tell anything about the plot of Silico Solutions?
I'll give a little bit about the plot.
Okay.
So the plot is just a normal night at Silico Solutions, and things just kind of go off the rails.
Okay.
There's a little bit of a power struggle between the personality disorder, and then some things get loose and have to be fixed and taken care of. So it's not a normal night. A normal night goes a little bit more smoothly.
Right, right. So this film takes place in a 24-hour span or over a night, one night.
About I'd say 16 hours, 12 to 16 hours.
Okay. Well, when was the first frame of this film shot? Because you've worked on this for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Right. So when was the first piece of footage for this film shot?
The first film day was May 23rd of 2022.
Okay. Okay.
And then our final day, our martini shot, I shot alone, which was on July 3rd or 2nd or 3rd.
Okay.
No, June 2nd or 3rd, sorry. But I had to go back up and film the last few scenes completely by myself.
Okay. Like reshoots?
No.
Oh, just for the first time?
Finalizing.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I lost all my crew. Like, I ran out of funding. So
Right.
they went back home and they had other jobs to do anyway.
Right.
So they went their way. Then everybody else had their life that they needed to focus on. Because I only had a week to shoot this.
Mm-hmm.
And we shot it back to back every day with the weekend on.
Okay.
Then we took a couple days off. Then we came back, I think on, was it Monday or Sunday? Came back on one day, went on ahead and finished it out because we had classes coming in. Because the building I was working in does do classes.
Right.
It's like an open co-op as well. So.
And it's a very nice facility.
It is.
Yeah.
It has a very eerie feel to it.
From just the little footage I saw, I would totally agree.
It's a labyrinth. Like, it really is a maze. You can go down one corridor and end back up in the beginning of the place again. And it's like, oh wait, hold on. Very interesting how it's laid out.
So you shot all this in a series of 1 week.
Yes.
Okay. So how did you go about before even production, pre-production? Do you have the ideas? You write the ideas down. You put it into script. How did your process go?
So for about a year, I would meditate on it and visualize in my head, and I would get myself into a very relaxed state of mind with binaural music.
Right.
And then that would pretty much put me in a hypnosis state. I would visualize every perspective from every character. Then I would visualize it from a top-down perspective, and then finally I did my shot design in every perspective. I had every shot that I wanted to do. I had the story laid out. I had everything lined out perfectly before I even put pen to paper.
Okay.
And right now, I've already been doing this with the sequel that I want to do. And January is when I'm going to begin writing on it.
Okay.
Like, taking it and actually running it through the process, because I've just recently found my catalyst that's going to put all of my major scenes together.
Okay. Now, do you just let the ideas come, or do you set a date for something and say, I'm going to have something and start by this date and move forward?
I usually just let the ideas come.
Okay.
And then.
Like organically happen.
Right.
Okay.
And then I'll physically start forcing myself to work whenever I feel like I have enough.
Mm-hmm.
And I've saw enough. I'm like, okay, now it's time to go ahead and put this down.
Because you seem to be a good self-motivator.
I am a mean boss.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people aren't motivated to do things, especially things that seem unobtainable.
Let's talk about motivation for a second.
Okay.
I spoke about this Wednesday.
Okay.
If you want real motivation, you truly want to get motivated, you have to light a fire under you. You have to feel the heat. And what I mean by that is you have to sacrifice so many things and put yourself in the most dangerous position. And you can't fail, because if you fail, you lose everything.
There's no safety net.
Not very many.
No.
I have one safety net, but I don't know how secure that is.
Right.
That is if things go south, that might work. And then there's another safety net in play that is, what's a pretty way to word it? Adult entertainment.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that is a backup route. That
Okay.
is Plan Z. Please, God, don't let me have to use Plan Z.
Boogie Nights.
Yeah. Hopefully, we don't have to go that route.
Yeah. But you gotta get funding somewhere sometimes.
You do.
So,
You do.
someone had mentioned once that they were like, it was a couple years back when I was trying to get funding for something, and I didn't want to self finance this time, so they suggested donating plasma.
Hmm.
Now I didn't do that because now this is going to be odd now because I do like films like your film seems to be, but I do have a squeamish stomach in everyday life things, and seeing the plasma being taken out and then put back in, it kind of disgusted me.
You're not supposed to watch it.
I know. I watched some other people do it, and I was like, I can't do it. So I just went to the car and almost passed out.
I almost done it, but I'm underweight and they won't let me do it.
What made you think about doing that?
College. I
Okay.
needed to pay for tuition.
Okay.
But hey, I avoided my college debts.
Yeah. Well, see, I went once in Johnson City to try to donate plasma as well. Well, I went with a friend, and then once we got over there, I forgot the reason they wouldn't let her do it. But yeah, it never panned out, and I don't think it's I just don't think it's something I could do. I think I would just pass out very, very easily. Have you ever passed out?
Came close, but never actually blacked out completely. So, where my mom is a nurse, I learned that if you duck your head between your legs when you feel yourself getting tunnel vision and blacking out, you can pull yourself back. So the idea is to get your head below your heart.
Okay.
So if you can do that, you'll get enough blood back into your head to where you won't faint. Actually, no, I lied. I did pass out one time. I was riding the Batman ride in Georgia.
The Six Flags.
Six Flags in
Okay.
Georgia. And it threw all the blood out of my head and into my feet, and I went out for a few seconds.
Really?
And then it hit another curve or another flip that threw everything back into my head. Horrible headache afterwards, but I was only out for a couple seconds.
Okay. Okay. I've passed out a couple times. Once when they happened to prick my finger at the doctor to take a little blood.
Are you sure you're going to be able to watch this movie?
Yeah, I'll be able to watch it. But it's just like when it's my own. That's happened twice. I mean, really, I was on the floor. I told them, I said, I'm going to pass out in like 2 or 3 seconds. I was on the floor. That's happened twice. And then once when I have blood taken maybe 10 years ago. And I watched that and I started to pass out. Luckily, I was sitting down.
That helps.
Yeah, I should be able to make it through. If not, I'll be passed out. Do you expect anyone to pass out?
That would be awesome if they do.
Because that's always a great marketing tool, I think. When you've heard, I remember when the movie Hostel actually first came out, that there were message boards on IMDb at the time, and you could go on there and people would say, yeah, at the screening at South by Southwest, 2 people passed out and the ambulance had to come get them. And I was like, I definitely want to see that movie.
If someone pukes, please don't puke. That's going to be terrible.
You think you should hand out some little brown bags in case people need to puke in them?
I thought about it.
Oh, have you really?
I don't think they'll need it.
Right.
But then again, I have to think about normal people.
Right.
Like the people who wasn't subject to the things that I was subject to.
See, I went to see a screening of The Human Centipede Part 2.
Fun.
And they gave out paper bags to people that wanted them. And then they also gave a warning. They said, we're only offering refunds for the first 15 minutes. After that, you're on your own. And I do think a couple people left. But I did make it through that one okay.
Well, good deal.
So, that's the only Human Centipede movie I've seen, the second one.
I feel like the first one's better.
I've heard. I've read the synopsis. I almost went for it, but I just need to be in the right space to go in for that one. You know what I mean?
I get that. I've never watched it.
Okay.
Like I said, I don't watch a lot of movies.
Yeah. So what do you? So I wanted to get back into a little bit of the screenwriting. You know, the whole process for you. So after you're getting ready to put pen to paper, do you do you actually handwrite it out?
You have to an extent.
Yeah.
So I will type it out, but then due to a part of a ritualistic process, I want it written out on by hand as well.
I do too. I do
Yeah.
too. I always have actually like this was a notebook laying over there. This notebook has so many things, but there's each color means it's for a certain thing,
Right.
and I do write a lot of the script out by hand as well. Now, once you have things written, you sit down. Day 2, day 3. Do you go back and reread what you've written the previous day, or do you just start at that point forward and move forward?
Before every session, I start from the beginning and go all the way through it, and
Okay.
then I'm allowed to write. So the further along I get, the more I have to read. Because if it doesn't hit right, or something hitches, or something doesn't flow, it gets marked out.
Now, do you have music playing when you're writing?
Usually, but it's not music. It's the binaural frequencies.
Let's put a little bit of that on.
Are you sure you want to put that on?
I don't know.
It's
Do I?
going to be weird, and it's going to make your head ring a little bit. I like 7 hertz or 3 hertz personally, but
How would that be for the radio audience here?
I don't know. It's fun though.
All right, let's see this.
Turn your volume down because it might blow your speakers depending on what frequency you pick.
All right, let's see. This is a because I've heard you talk about this before. Let's see how this will be here.
When I'm writing, I use 7 hertz.
Okay, that's what we're going to after this lovely YouTube commercial. So, what made you get into doing this to begin with? Like the going to the binary.
So CIA documents.
Okay.
Yeah, I got real interested in CIA declassified.
All right, let's see here.
Yeah. So there's a trick to this. It's 2 different frequencies playing in your left ear and your right ear.
Okay.
Alright, so when that happens, it creates the third tone. The third tone is in your brain. It's not real. Well, it's real, but it's not playing through the things.
It's only going through your head.
Yes. So what that is your left hemisphere and your right hemisphere of your brain now communicating. And it'll create more neural pathways that normally aren't there because now it's being stimulated.
Okay.
So you can use that to your advantage to think things through a little bit more clearly. And depending on what frequency you're using can create different effects. So if you're running 3 hertz, it will give you more of a relaxing, calming feel. If you're running a 7, it'll give you more of a focused and creative feel.
Now, do you listen to this also when meditating?
I do.
The same 7 or different frequency?
Depends on what my humming frequency will resonate with. So I like to hum with it or
Okay.
do an om with it. And when you do that, it'll make your entire chest cavity also vibrate to that frequency. What's this one? 3?
Yeah.
Yeah. The fact I can call it out without even seeing.
No, I do like using some things like this as background noise in films too.
Yeah. I was going to use some of these in film, but the guy who did my score, Destiny Stansberry, he said we might get a frequency overload and it'll muddy up the audio tracks.
Okay.
So I was going to do 7.83, which is a very positive,
Was it going to be throughout the entire film?
certain parts.
Certain parts. Okay.
It's one that's supposed to make people feel good. So when you have contrasting visuals with a frequency that's supposed to make you feel good, that's going to make you feel a little weird. But I found other means to make that happen.
All right. Okay. 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 Now this is the more relaxing one.
Yeah, that one's the one that I would use to before bed.
Okay, what's another one that you would suggest? We've had 7 and 3.
Uh, there's some that are like up in the 400s that I like, but I don't have their numbers right off. I have them saved.
Okay.
It's like 483, I think. But when you get too high, it can get to some interesting places.
Let's see, 483. Okay, let's try this one. Because I know there's a lot. Radiohead, some of their albums seem to venture into this.
You want to try a song that uses binaural music?
Yeah, let's do.
Fever of the Ghost, Source.
Okay, here's 483 before we go there.
Yeah, see, that one's more of a.
Almost like because I have it turned up very low, but if I turn it up any higher, it will.
Don't turn it up.
Yeah.
That'll hurt people.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Too high. Let's do it down. I like
So-
the lower ones there.
Yeah, I do too. So what was the song?
Fever of the Ghost by Source, or Source by Fever of the Ghost. It's got a very cool music video to it as well.
Fever of the Ghost Source.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
There's something I want to share about this, but I can't hear
Okay.
due to certain limitations.
Understood.
So you feel how that feels in your headphones?
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, I just had the lyric video up. That was the first one. I like this song.
I love this song. Off air, I'll tell you something about it.
Okay.
I went on an adventure Monday. That's all I'll say.
An adventure.
An adventure. And this song was a part of it.
Okay. Was it? Would it be? Would you say? Could you say it was the soundtrack of the adventure?
It was a part of it.
Okay.
It was the, we'll say it's the silica of psychosilica.
Now, how did you come up with the title?
Alright, so my ex from high school sweetheart days started saying, "Oh, he's crazy as a psycho." Of course, go ahead. I'll accept that title proudly. Her mom also agreed with it, and I thought that was funny.
Oh, her mother did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Both of them did. And then, of course, psilocybin, silico, silicone, and I just kind of merged all that together because I'm cutting up silicone blades and things like that. So then I was like, but silico, the colors, all the vibrancies of everything just pops and pulls through. So instead of it just being silicone, it's silly times.
Right. I'm very. That's a very catchy title. It grabs people right away.
I love alliteration.
And I think it's clever. And I also think that is you have it on your shirt, and it stands out. Would that shirt be at the event?
It will be.
Okay.
It will be.
Now, how many different design shirts are you going to have there? You think?
I wanted 3, but due to the detail of the VIP shirt and how long that's going to take, it looks like it's just going to be the VIP design and then this design.
Okay.
But we're going to work something out to where people can order them online through What Up Kate Designs.
So what up, Kate? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll write that down here.
Caitlin Snell does a stellar job on her t-shirts.
And so you were talking earlier about taking the film on the road.
Yeah.
So what's your plan as far as like you named some places, but you want to just travel the country?
Pretty much. So I've always wanted to travel.
Right.
And so since the film festivals don't like me, programming or not programming issues isn't their program. I get it. But because they don't want to, I'm assuming for violence,
Because you're not family friendly.
I'm not family friendly enough for horror shows. What?
That's crazy. I mean,
That's the only thing I can think of. Like
that's
me and Devlin from the guy who did help me out here, Erecting a Monster.
oh yeah,
When he was telling me about it, he was like, "Yeah, no, I have similar issues, and usually whenever I like really pry and push, they tell me it's due to content or something like that." Or he's like, most places are trying to go more to a family friendly thing, even if it is a horror convention. And I have friends who are super into horror, who will, they'll take their kids. But when you take your kid to a horror convention or a horror show, you're fully aware of what's going to be shown there.
yeah. I mean, it's not like you're going in and expecting, Dunstan checks in or something. I mean, you're expecting a horror movie, and what else would you expect than killings and murders and gore?
Right? Sex and violence.
Yes. So I mean, what? Yeah, that is crazy. So you're deciding to take it on the road. Now, how would that go for you?
So I have this TikTok following,
Okay.
and I get in contact with all sorts of people. So uh, Yellowfish Productions in Florida is one that's recently starting to attempt to do movie screenings, and I reached out to them. I saw a post they made yesterday, and I was like, "Would my film be something that you would be willing to pull an audience for?" Because that's the catch. They have to be able to pull an audience.
Right.
Because I'm not going to drive 12 hours away just to have 5 people sitting there. Because I got to have a little bit of cash to get down there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to get loaded or anything. I just need enough money to get there. If I can get my trip paid for and I can get broke even, then
Success.
I'll be there.
Okay.
So Florida's one that I'm working on. Then Alabama with Rotten. They do a horror show, which is like, haunts and things like that,
Okay.
where you go to a haunted house. And I asked them if they would be willing to do a screening. And they were like, "We've not really done many of those, but we can make it happen." And I was like, "Okay."
All right.
So
They're very open to it.
so Alabama's on the list, and then PVD Horror up in Rhode Island. They are interested in.
Have you been to Rhode Island before?
Never.
I've never been that far up.
Me neither. So I want to check that out. I'm gonna have to wait for Rhode Island to be more in the spring, summer season because that cold.
Yeah.
We ain't playing with that.
No, I don't want to deal with that.
No, not at all.
Are you not a fan of cold weather?
Not at all. I can handle 90 degrees all day, but you put me in a frozen tundra, I'm gonna freeze to death.
I totally agree with you. Or if it was like a day like today, I could handle fall 70 degrees year round.
I like that.
But yeah, the cold weather. Do you have any? Is it more difficult? Do you have seasonal depression or anything like that?
Used to, not so much anymore. We got control over that since 2019.
Okay.
We got control over that with the micros.
Okay. Good.
As much as I'll say.
Good. Yeah, I know what you mean. So yeah, I don't have it as much as but it does seem like the colder that it gets, the more the depression seems to try to seep in.
Tries to, but the trick for that is drink less, no alcohol, less alcohol. Then anytime I feel depressed or I feel myself slipping into that, I cut alcohol out instantly. That's the first thing to go. Then try to get your sleep pattern on a normal regimen. Then exercise.
So what's a day in the life of you?
Of me,
Yes.
it's difficult because it depends on what day it is.
Well, let's take a day. Let's take Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah,
Okay.
because you had the seminar.
Yeah.
So how do you go about your day there?
So preparing for a live event, it starts off with you wake up, get a cup of coffee.
Do you have a preferred blend?
I think not really.
Okay.
It's just whatever's there, but I do prefer Snickers creamer.
They have good creamer.
That's so good.
That is good. That is a good one.
People will be like, why do you like your coffee like creamered up that much? You're not even drinking coffee anymore because it's good.
Yeah.
I want what tastes good. I'm not going to drink trash.
Now, I have, just to see if I could, given up coffee. But now that it's fall and winter again, I'll go back to it. Sometimes I just like to quit things to see if I have power over it or it has power over me.
I get that.
And I have power over coffee. So therefore, for a while this summer, sadly, energy drinks had power over me.
No energy drinks.
And I'm done with them.
Blow your heart out.
Yeah. And blow the heart out. They're not cheap either.
No, they're not. And
they're a waste. It's really a waste.
They eat your teeth.
Yes.
Yeah, that's another big thing. They'll eat your teeth.
Yeah. So yeah, I've given those up. So I'm glad about that. I didn't mean to interrupt about your day. So you're getting up, drinking the coffee.
So no cell phone. You don't turn that cell phone on for at least 90 minutes. You're not allowed to turn that on.
Okay. Do you do that every day?
Try to.
That's a good practice to have.
Yeah, because if you get scroll locked early in the day, your whole day's ruined.
Right.
So I'll get up, take my cup of coffee, I'll sit out on the porch, and I'll make sure that I get natural sunlight in my eyes because that's an important aspect to start getting certain chemicals in your brain to pump through.
Okay.
Now keep in mind, I'm a psychopath. So I'm doing all these healthy mental health strategies. You also need a water. You're supposed to drink water before coffee, but I need the coffee first, and then I'll have the water.
No, I actually do drink a little 10-ounce thing of water before. That's one of the first things I do when I get up.
Need more. Get you a 16-ounce bottle. Do a whole bottle.
I need to do that.
So yeah, I can do it after coffee because my teeth feel stupid.
Yeah.
And then I can just chug it. Then after that, I'll go and brush my teeth, wash up, take a shower, do the rest of the day, actually put clothes on. Then from that point, eat something, force feed myself something because if I'm getting ready to do something, I won't have an appetite.
Same. Now, do you have? I would imagine that you're not someone that eats 3 meals per day.
Not usually. No, it's usually one big meal a day and then a bunch of little snacks all
Same.
throughout.
Same. Or when working on something, I can get so engrossed in the project or whatever that I don't even eat at all.
Same. And then I'll feel it just hit all at once, and I'm like, oh, okay, great.
Yeah. Now it hits.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're up, you're getting ready, you're out the door, you're on your way.
So after that, I'll either do social media stuff and deal with TikTok, and then what else we'll do? We'll play with Instagram for a minute. And
Do you have a
respond to
set schedule for when you post things on TikTok?
No, it's just whenever I feel like
Okay.
it.
Okay. I thought so. I tried to watch and see if there was a schedule that I could see, and I think it's just whenever you choose to
I used
randomly
to
go
do a
on.
schedule, and it used to be as soon as I woke up, but that requires me to be on my phone. I don't do that.
Right.
So then I started trying to do like around 2, and I was like, no, because then I'll be doing other things, and I'll get scroll locked for an hour.
Right.
I'm very bad to get scroll locked, so I try to avoid even like looking at other feeds and other people's stuff. And that's bad of me because I want to, support, but at the same time, it's bad for me because I will get locked in and I won't be productive.
Yep.
So, one of the things is with all this, I feel guilty if I'll play a video game, even if I feel like I need to be working on it.
Because you don't feel like you're using your time efficiently because you're not doing something quote unquote productive.
Right.
I understand.
Yeah. So I don't watch TV. Like I don't have Hulu or Netflix anymore. I don't deal with those, which, I'll pull Netflix stuff on occasion through my brother.
Right.
But other than that, it's
I have a couple of them, but I don't watch any TV as far as a TV show.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you. Most TV shows people tell me, yeah, I might have heard of it. Have I seen an episode? No, probably not.
The show that I'm currently watching, the only show I'm currently watching is Cyberpunk.
Okay.
Because Phantom Liberty's coming out this month.
Actually, this is the side. I have like a Walmart has these little bottles of water for like $2, and I usually drink about probably 8 to 10 of those a day.
Oh, okay. So you're getting a good consumption
Yeah.
rate then.
Yeah, I drink mainly water is what I would drink probably 75% of the time.
I have to force myself to drink it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you're not a fan?
No.
What would
down
What would you drink other than coffee and water?
Dr. Pepper.
Okay.
I like Dr. Pepper a lot. Pepsi, Coke.
See, I when I was when I was going through the little bit of depression and did drink, Dr. Pepper would be the chaser often.
Yeah. I like Gatorade a lot, but I don't buy it often.
Yeah, same. I happen to have one tonight, but I don't buy it often at all.
If I'm drinking the night before and I'm going to get drunk,
Right.
then I'll get one.
Now, do you ever do you ever say to yourself, okay, I'm going to get drunk or whatever and try to be productive? Like,
All the time.
Okay, all the time?
So when I first started doing Psycho Silico, I would drink a 40 while I was working.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Like there's a few videos of my early videos, like when I'm holding that 40's, I've been actually drinking on that the whole time. So I celebrate that still with the Subliminal show. The 40 is my prop.
Okay.
And my followers get mad at me because I don't down it fast enough. I have to sip on it, friends.
Yes.
And I don't want to just get trashed on the lightweight.
No, I understand. I understand. I used to sometimes plan. The only time for the longest time that I would ever drink is when I planned to do not a show inside the studio, but at the home studio. I was like, this will be a drinking show.
Yeah.
And then I'll do that, and that had been the only time. Never on the radio, but in the home studio, occasionally that'll happen.
I get that. When I was working at some AAA game studio, whenever we had crunch time, which was very often, mind you, like especially during the holiday season.
Right.
After 5 o'clock, we were all allowed to drink, and that was like a rule. That was like, after 5, like you have 2 more hours that you have to work, but get drunk, have fun.
Okay.
And like we would usually get beers, or I wouldn't get liquor drinks, but I had a few colleagues that handled their liquor extraordinarily well.
Really?
Yeah, very well.
No one would know.
No one would know. Well, you'd know a little bit because they get a little bit more wild.
Okay.
But, no, they were extremely productive still. Like it was very, everybody was still extreme. I couldn't do it because as soon as I started drinking, as soon as I started feeling, I was like, no. I was like, no, you have to do it. So I was like, no more drinking for me.
You have really good self-control.
Yeah.
And that's a key thing for creative people and motivated people as well. So Tyler, it's been great having you in tonight. Very excited for the upcoming screening at the Park Avenue Theater, Friday the 29th. And it's over, so what did we say, 142? So it's over half, it's more than half. It's 2/3 of the way.
We have some general admission tickets have already been pre-ordered. So I think I'm sitting at around 90 plus.
Okay. So it's going to be a big event. Come early. The club truck will be there. And it's going to be a good time.
Definitely going to be a good time.
I think it's going to be a good time. You want to give out some of your social media?
So you can find all my work on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Psycho Silico, which is SYCOPSILICO.
And what was your podcast? Your podcast one more time?
The podcast is on YouTube, and it's Psycho Silico Subliminal Show.
And I want to check that out. Definitely, I will check that out on the way home tonight.
Episode 2 is fun.
Okay.
Me, Izzy, runs episode 2.
I'm very excited to see this film, man. And I'm very proud of you. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it greatly.
And thank you to the audience for tuning in tonight for another edition of the Other People Show. Check out all the great programming on 92.5 and the sister station, 93.5. Tyler, thank you once again.
Hey, thanks for having me.
You all have a good night.